Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by Sergio. And today we are finally back from our long break, and we're here, we're ready. It's 2018, and I'm sure, like all of you, we feel Animal Crossing in our bones. So today, we're actually going to go over a bit of like what we were doing during this break, because it has been maybe 3 weeks
Right.
since we last recorded?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is a longer break than usual. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess we just got busy. But anyways, we're going to be talking about what we've been doing in that time. We're going to talk about Animal Crossing in 2018, what we could possibly see. Maybe a Nintendo Direct will reveal all. And then, of course, we're going to catch you up on some Animal Crossing Pocket Camp progress. And we're going to go over essentially all the updates that have happened in those 3 weeks, which surprisingly has been a lot. Like, I think people are always thinking, what's going on with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp? At least from people that I listen to. They don't play as much as we do, but we've got all the updates for you. Anyways, Sergio, so what have you been up to on this break?
Hi, Chewy, and welcome everyone to this awesome 2018, the year of Animal Crossing, I hope.
Yeah, I do.
Right, right. So, just, enjoying the holidays and the free time from work or less work in a way. Um, Definitely the highlight of the holidays or the end of 2017 was the SFLA meetup, which is a group of Switch players that you happen to visit us, and you are an honorary member of SFLA now.
Yeah, I was really excited to hear that like so many people were from, essentially the LA area in that group, and I was just stoked that I could go and actually hang out, play some games. It was tons of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And you and I, we spend so much time just gushing and talking about Animal Crossing, everything, our favorite moments, our current progress in Pocket Camp, what we want to see next year or for the future of the series. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I was really happy because we both wore our Animal Crossing
That's
shirts.
right. KK Slider.
Yeah, and I actually have a habit of wearing it every time we record, so I'm wearing that same shirt right
Oh,
now.
nice.
Yeah, I've got my KK Slider shirt because, KK, he records his music. We record our podcast.
Ah,
So I just thought I would go with that theme and wear his shirt.
hey, it works.
Yeah, and one thing that happened there is you showed me your Animal Crossing New Leaf photo album, and I was stunned. That thing's amazing.
Right, I forget how big it is. And we are definitely, I'm working with the company that produced it. Back when I made it, I could have sworn I got a PDF of it, but it turns out I didn't. The problem is on their end. They are looking into it, and we're looking to get the PDF so we can share it with everyone.
That is going to be cool because I literally like picked it up and I was just like, dude, this thing is huge.
Right.
And it's so cool. I kind of super wish I had one now. And you had like really great notes in there. Like it had the date and stuff and just like a little what's the word I'm looking for? Like a headline
Right.
kind of thing, a caption.
Yeah, that's right. And I just kept it in chronological order, and it has photographs of the big events, funny conversations that the villagers had, or all the public works that I was getting. And it's a really, really awesome compilation of what New Leaf was, or what Animal Crossing, playing Animal Crossing or living Animal Crossing can be.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about it. Like every page I flipped through, I was like, "Oh man, that's like all of these moments and all of these great things." Because I
Right.
feel like Animal Crossing is, it's a life sim, so obviously it's like based on kind of real life. And what makes it more lifelike is the real time aspect to the game. So just seeing those, I was just like, man, it makes so much sense to have a photo album of what you've been up to in your little virtual life.
Right, right. And like you said, it's your life. So it's very, everyone has a different town, different villagers, different layouts or patterns or clothing. It's that's why I think that's a big reason of why we love Animal Crossing. We make it our own.
Yeah, and Yeah, I will always love visiting other people's towns exactly because of that reason,
Right.
just because everybody has an opportunity to just do whatever they want to do with the game, and I think that's what makes it so special. That's what makes it like so well loved,
Right, right.
just
And
among like a lot of people. Like it doesn't matter if you're a hardcore gamer or just a casual gamer. A lot of people have connected with this game.
right, right, right. So definitely, I will keep everybody posted on the PDF. They told me they've been a little bit busy because of the holidays, but they're definitely looking into it.
Yeah, that's good. And I do want to mention, like, this was just this past break was our first time meeting in person. So I know I feel like I'm always kind of interested in like podcasts I listen to, and I'm like, what do these people look like? I don't know. And so we did take a picture together. If you're on the Discord, you've seen it. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you're ever wondering what we look like, our faces are on there.
yeah.
Yeah, just our dorky selves wearing Animal Crossing merch
Yeah.
in a Starbucks. Yeah, so you also had a big trip, right?
Yeah, I happened to visit New York. So from California to New York, from one corner of the country to the other. I visited with my family. It was just, we just planned a little trip to New York, but definitely one of the big highlights for me was visiting the Nintendo Store NY, formerly the Nintendo World Store. And when I first went there, I hadn't thought about this until I got there. And then when I got there, I was like, oh, Pocket Camp. They must have a big Animal Crossing section, right? Well, they had a few things. They had a lot of plushies. They had KK Slider, Isabel, Rover. They had kicks at the bottom, which I didn't see at first, and I happened to take some photographs, and then I was looking at them later that day, and oh, there's kicks. I gotta go back, and I did go
So
back.
did you get one of like everything?
No, no, I didn't. I definitely got KK Slider. I got kicks, and I got Rover because I love
Oh, those
Rover
are good
too.
options. I feel like a lot of people are kind of freaked out by Rover, but I've always liked
Oh
him.
no, I always like them, definitely.
Yeah,
So,
and Kix is my
oh
dude.
yes, of course.
I love Kix.
Yeah, he's awesome. And so they had plushies, they had a few charms, they had some of those um little figures that they have, not the amiibo. They had
Yeah,
like
it kind of
Tomnook and
shoot, what are those called? Yeah, I know which ones. They're like little mini Nintendo figures.
right. Oh,
Um,
World of Nintendo, I think that's the series, and they have a lot of different
yes.
characters. Right. So they had those, and they had some little bags that come with a character from the series that happens to be a backpack charm that it's randomized. I bought three, and the third one was KK's ladder, so I got pretty lucky there.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You lucked out.
yeah. And then they
I feel
have,
like I would have gone back.
oh yeah, oh I was ready. And they had a couple of T-shirts. I got a DJ KK's ladder one, or DJ KK.
Oh, that's
And
perfect.
yeah, so that was it. And I even asked the clerk if he had anything else with KK's ladder, and he told me no, that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know like their selection may have seemed like kind of slim, but I remember because I went to New York maybe a couple years ago now, and of course, stopped at the Nintendo store there. And I mean, prior to that moment, I'd spent so many years going to Comic Cons and just like asking everyone like, do you have any Animal Crossing stuff for sale? I need to buy it. And all the time they're like, a lot of people really ask us for this stuff, but we don't have it.
Oh,
And so like after years of that, like going into the Nintendo store, sure, what looks to be there is kind of slim, but to me I was just like, this is a gold mine.
all right, right, right.
I
Definitely.
need some of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the photo you posted on the Discord because I was just like, man, I want to go back and buy some more. Like I got the basics, but I can always use more. I have a KK slider next to me. I have Stitches and Fauna.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I want to go and get some more of the animals. Probably, I mean, I think you made really good choices with the Rover and Kicks
Mhm.
because I would also want those.
Right. I mean, how much Animal Crossing is enough? It really isn't.
Yeah, I mean that's what we just need more and more of
More,
it.
yeah. Oh, more, yeah, more.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty awesome. I was super excited that you were finally going there, because I loved it. Of course, we're both huge Nintendo fans, and any opportunity where you can get some Animal Crossing stuff is a good
Yeah,
opportunity in my
definitely.
mind. So speaking about opportunities and what's coming up, it is 2018. We are not so patiently awaiting the news for a Nintendo Direct. I know I'm like constantly like, well, I better check Twitter again and see if the announcement came. So what do you think? Do you think we're gonna get a Nintendo Direct? Like, it's rumored to be Thursday.
Right.
We haven't heard anything. Of course, there's a short turnaround between news of a Direct and then when it actually happens. But what do you think? Do you think Thursday is spot on, or are we gonna have to wait more?
We may have to wait more. I definitely do see one happening this month.
Yeah. I think I agree with that, especially if we don't hear about it tomorrow. Then I'm going to be pretty much like, it'll probably be next week to any time between the end of that and the end of the month, you know?
Right, right. And it is very likely that it was planned for this Thursday. And if it doesn't happen, it might be Nintendo doing it on purpose just to, keep everybody guessing.
Yeah, because the whole rumor began, just in case y'all don't know, somebody accidentally receives emails from, I think, EA, right?
No, I didn't hear this.
Oh, okay. Well, from what I've heard, somebody received, I don't know how they got on a mailing list from EA or something, but through that email, they found out that the Nintendo Direct was going to happen on the 11th. And I don't know. So
Hmm.
I think more and more I see some pretty elaborate hoaxes about Nintendo news. So it's getting to the point where I don't know what to believe.
Right. Oh, yes.
But what we do know is that the past year we've seen a Nintendo Direct pretty much every month, you know?
Right.
And last year was very special because January was the whole Switch presentation. And so we got a essentially like 2017 was planned out on that day,
Right.
you
That's
know?
correct.
And meanwhile, like everybody's like, oh, no way all of these games are coming out because we got so used to just a drought of games and everything. But Nintendo hit every single release date that they set this year.
Yep.
And that's exciting, but also like how many more games are left that they can make.
Right. That's right.
But luckily, we know one of those games is Animal Crossing. And so okay, I think we're going to see a Nintendo Direct this month. And I don't know, my heart is really saying this could be it. This is when we hear Animal Crossing is coming.
Right.
What do you think?
I, I mean, of course, I want to. I think so, only because of Pocket Camp in the timing. Like you and I and everybody has been talking that Pocket Camp has been getting us so pumped for the next main series game for Animal Crossing. This would be the ideal time to announce it.
Yeah, and because it's like if you wait too long, that Pocket Camp hype might die down. And luckily, Nintendo's been doing a really good job of keeping like all these events going
Hmm.
on, adding new villagers. I just think the excitement's there, you know?
Right.
So it just feels like it's time to let us know, hey, we have been working on the new game, and guess what? It comes out in summer,
Oh man.
or oh, I would freak
Oh
out.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. And
Just for anybody listening too, we will record a podcast as soon as that announcement's
oh
made.
yes, definitely you can count on that one. And I think if they do announce it, they will focus on highlighting the difference between the new game and Pocket Camp in terms of, they want to keep people playing Pocket Camp and they're gonna announce how they're linked to each other so you can keep playing Pocket Camp and gathering maybe items or the things that are gonna carry over to the new main game.
Yeah, because there was that early rumor that this game would have some sort of connectivity
Hmm.
to just another Animal Crossing game. So we figured if not New Leaf, then it would have to be the new
That's
game,
right. Hmm.
And since we haven't really heard anything on New Leaf, I really think the last update we were going to get, and even I'm surprised we even got this update, but that Welcome Amiibo update, I think that's like the goodbye from
Yes.
Nintendo for this game. And it was a great
Oh
goodbye.
yes, definitely.
Super awesome. Um, but yeah, I just think it's time for them to move on and show us something new. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I think it makes sense that they would announce it. Here's the other thing though. Like I don't want people to be brokenhearted if it doesn't happen because I know the
Oh
feeling.
yes.
um so honestly, like my suspicion is that if they don't announce it with between now and like E3, I'm just confident that we're going to see it 2019 and it's going to be a long hard wait.
Right, right. I agree.
uh it's going to hurt my
Oh
heart.
yeah.
I already feel it. I'm just like I've got my hopes so high right now and they shouldn't be. I'm trying to keep them
Right.
down, but I can't help it.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with an announcement during this month's direct, if it does happen. Maybe not a lot of visuals, or maybe none. They'll just say, okay, Animal Crossing, and they might give the title. It's coming to the Switch this holiday, and we will first see it at E3. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. I I don't know. I'm just like I'm so excited to see something, anything. I know people are also excited to see tons of other games, but I'm just like I don't know, man. This is what we've
Oh
been waiting
yes,
for.
right.
I feel like since I will say it over and over, but since the Wii U came out, we have wanted HD Animal
Yes,
Crossing.
yes.
And I mean, luckily Pocket Camp's got like really since it's on a small phone, the resolution's really high. So
Yeah,
it's nice to get what feels like a sneak peek into
that's
that.
exactly right.
I mean, of course, there was Amiibo Festival, and that was HD, and it looked nice. um,
And
but you
yeah,
know how that game went.
and that was it. It
I
looked
might,
nice.
yeah, I might actually. I I've been thinking. This leads directly into it, but we were gonna talk about kind of Animal Crossing goals that we have. And one of mine is I actually started a long time ago playing through the Desert Island Escape minigame on Amiibo Festival. And I only got through about 5 levels, but I think I'm going to reboot that series and have that pop up on my YouTube.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of mine. What were you thinking of doing that's Animal Crossing related?
Well, I've always wanted to learn to play guitar. Of course, a big part of it is because of KK's Lighter. So I said, you know what? This is the perfect time to do it. 2018 New Year. So I got my guitar and I will be playing, practicing every day until I'm decent, and then playing more and more every day until I'm actually pretty good at it. That's my goal. Um, I've been meaning to do it right away, but since I just got back from New York, I have a couple of loose ends to tie up. But after all that is done, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna be playing guitar.
That's awesome. And have you already gotten your guitar?
Yes, it's ready.
Oh, cool. Cause so I play guitar and I've I think I got my first guitar back in when I was in 7th grade or
Ooh.
so. Funny slash kind of embarrassing story. I watched the remake of Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and I was like, I want to be in a band now. So funny enough, Lindsay Lohan affected my life in some way. So I wanted a guitar. I got it, and then I I never got lessons. It was just a little before my family actually got the internet,
Hmm.
so I didn't really have a way to learn. Eventually, a few years pass. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I have the internet at this point, and I just started playing. And yeah, you just play a little bit every day, you learn some songs you
Right.
like, and it's cool. And KK songs, of course, are really great.
Right, right.
So
And
yeah, they're kind of hard too. I have
oh,
trouble with
oh,
them.
definitely. I've been listening to them sort of in preparation, and I can tell, oh, this one is gonna be really hard to play.
Yeah. And then speaking of Animal Crossing music, since now you know the background of me playing, I am working on recording original music, slash, well, not too many original songs. I'll see how many I
Mm.
get out of it, but I do want to do covers of different Animal Crossing songs and use them as the music on this podcast. So you can expect to hear that in 2018 in this show.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds awesome. And also for me, I want to focus a little more on doing Animal Crossing related art, digital art. I'm not very good at drawing, but I can, gather images and turn them into something mostly unique. So we're also looking into the possibility of offering that as sort of a Patreon perk to Haken villagers. Maybe they can request a custom avatar or background. I'll be more than happy to work with you guys on whatever you want related to Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that would be I'm in full support of that. I definitely I love the Animal Crossing artwork I've seen around. I know I've been on like Redbubble a few days and I just look up Animal
Oh
Crossing
yes.
things and I'm just like, "Oh, I can get that on a shirt? Deal." So yeah, I think that's awesome. I definitely love when people just get to do awesome art and
Hmm.
share it with
Hmm.
everyone. Yeah, especially like you've made all those all our emojis in our
All
Discord.
right.
The Animal Crossing ones are so good. Yeah, and for just a friendly reminder, everyone is welcome to join the Discord. If you're on YouTube, there's a link there. SoundCloud, the description also has a link. iTunes, I'm not quite sure how, but if you find any of these shows anywhere, you'll find a link to the Discord, and they're just a bunch of people talking about Animal Crossing and how amazing it is. So if you want more of that in your life, you can come and
Oh
join.
yeah,
It'll be
we
fun.
we definitely hope to see you there. Earlier today, we were just gushing about potential Animal Crossing news, and we were just throwing all sorts of ideas and getting all happy about it.
Yes, we were envisioning Animal Crossing Switch. I was seeing it come alive in my brain, and I could barely
All right.
focus. I was like, this is the game. Yeah. So speaking of games, let's get down to Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. So 3 weeks have passed. That's a pretty long
Yeah.
time, and so what's your progress been like?
Well, I'm currently level 42. I did happen to get some playtime over there in New York when the Wi-Fi wasn't too good. I couldn't really do much, but I am working towards getting the tree house first of all, and then the pool set, which I really, really want, but I need a lot of sporty essence. I think I only have about four,
Yes.
so that one is gonna take a long time to get, but I definitely want it.
Yeah, I am right there with you. The pool is awesome, but yeah, I just don't have the sporty essences
Yeah,
for it.
right, right. And we part of the new items or the new updates that we got for the game was the New Year's event. And basically, when you do requests for the villagers, you get countdown charms, and you trade those in or use them to craft New Year related items. And I have almost one of all of them. The one I'm missing is the second to last, which is the Isabel kite. And I need about, well, now it's about 80 of the charms. And the New Year's event actually ends this basically the middle of this week by Wednesday. So I think I may have enough time to get it. If not, well, I do have enough leaf tickets to get the kite if I need to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you just absolutely have to, I would do that
Right.
because the kites are really cool. I think I hadn't put them up in my town yet, but I was visiting people, giving them
Oh,
kudos and such, and I saw the kites, and I was just like, "They're
yeah, right?
awesome! They're just floating around," and I thought that was the
Yeah.
coolest thing. Yeah. So as far as my progress, I am now level 50, and this is all thanks to many new villagers that have been added to the
Right.
game. Because I'm at that point where most of my villagers are reaching like level 10 and
Hmm.
higher, and I'm just like, wow, I never get any experience points now.
Right.
But yeah, I'm almost level 51. I'm probably about halfway to that one, so I'm making good progress leveling up. As far as amenities go, I've built the tree house and I've built the carousel. And tomorrow, when this podcast goes up, I will have the stage, the rock
Oh, yeah.
stage. So I'll have almost everything, but just like you, I don't have sporty
Right.
essences. I I mean, I have a lot more now, but when I started building like all the final things, I had one sporty essence. I'm now at 15 out of
Mm.
30. So I'm
Right.
close
Right.
to getting it. Luckily, I got in the meantime enough rustic essences to level up my. I think I have the hammock
Oh,
now,
nice.
and so yeah, I'm gonna level that up to level 3. But yeah, I'm essentially just trying to get as many sporty essences and rustic essences as possible. And then meanwhile, I'm also planting tons of flowers. I decided to just focus on the flowers that you could buy, the basic
Hmm.
ones. So I think it's the orange tulips, red tulips, yellow pansies, and red
Yes, that's right.
pansies. So I'm growing a bunch of those. Every once in a while, I go and buy 40 seeds of each, and then I plant them until I'm all out, and then I buy
Mm.
them again. And my main goal is just to get all of those pieces of furniture that come for that.
Okay, that actually that makes a lot of sense. I may have to start doing that too. I'm still really trying to get the rare pansies on my own. The only one I have is the coral.
Oh yeah, those it was tough. I honestly got kind of lucky getting them because I went into somebody's campsite and crossbred with their
Okay.
flowers. So that I haven't gotten all of them just because I decided to focus on,
Yeah.
getting tons of one type of flower so I can trade it in for furniture.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, for a lot of you, I've mentioned a bunch of rustic things. So there have been quite a few updates since we last talked. And one of those, I guess my favorite slash the biggest was they added new villagers, and these villagers are a new
Yeah.
type. So up until this moment, we had, well, now it's been a while, but up until that update, we had cool, cute, sporty, and
Hmm.
natural. But they have since added rustic, and with rustic type, they added 7 new characters, which that's a lot of
Yes.
characters, and that's why I leveled up so much. um, but they added Goose, who is a chicken, not a goose. Mitzi, one of my favorite cat villagers, she actually she's pretty much always in one of my
Oh, nice.
towns. Yeah, I've had her in every game, I think. Marshall, who you
Yeah.
all know is
Oh, yeah.
top tier. June, which is another welcome amiibo villager. Drake Drake's been in the game. I don't think Drake needed the welcome amiibo
No.
update.
Hmm.
Yeah, Avery. I guess I didn't recognize Avery. That's an eagle.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention June. I think it's a bear cub,
Yes. Hmm.
right? Yeah, and Drake is a duck. I'm still trying to figure out why it's called Drake. I don't know. And then the last one was Vesta, which is a sheep. I think the sheep are popular for my wife Jackie. She likes them. Um, but yeah, we got a couple amenities too. So, what do you think of the new
Oh, I
amenities?
like them a lot. Yeah, we got the hammock first, which I believe you have, and I'm working towards. And then after that is the hot air balloon, which looks amazing.
It looks
I can't
so
wait to get
cool.
it. Yeah.
I ca- I feel kind of bad that I saw it early, but it was in, you get those like loading screens when you're going
Right.
to a new
Hmm.
area. That was one of my loading screens, and I was like, "What? I can make
Right,
that
right.
now." So I'm trying so hard to get rustic essences to get that hot air balloon, because it's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, outside of that, the festival or the festive furniture event ended, and the very next day, I was surprised that the New Year's
Hmm.
festival started. So with that, we got a new type of crafting material, which was the countdown charms. I kept calling them lucky charms. I would always say, "How many lucky charms do you have?" So I just wanted cereal really badly after. So the countdown charms are used to get the New Year's items. Luckily, I think this time around it was a lot easier to get these items than the
Oh, yes,
festive
definitely.
stuff.
A lot of people are having duplicates of their favorite items for sure.
Yeah, I have one of everything, but I do have right now like over 300 of
Oh,
these
right,
countdown
right.
charms. So, yeah, I didn't think it was too hard. I think I'm going to try saving them because after the festive stuff, we noticed that those materials didn't
Hmm.
go away. So I'm assuming you can just keep them into next year and use
Yeah,
them
that's right.
again.
And just like with the candy canes, some of the items that you craft give you more countdown charms. So, you know,
Yeah, that too. So I didn't have too much trouble getting these items. It was pretty quick. So I've probably been done for about a week now. And I mean, with I guess the festive stuff, the holidays things, I played pretty consistently to get them. Whereas this New Year's event, I didn't play every single, I guess,
right,
cycle to be able to get
right, right.
everything. So yeah, I think they made that easier. It was a bit of a shorter one. Maybe it was the same length actually, like
Right,
three
right.
weeks or so. Yeah, but it's almost over. If you're listening to this, which goes up on Tuesday, I think it ends
Right, you
Wednesday,
have about
right?
a day.
Yeah, a day to get
Right,
what's left, and if you just started that day, then yeah, I don't think you'll get them all. But but if you have plenty of Leaf tickets, you can always use those if you don't want to miss out on getting essentially every piece of furniture in the game.
right.
Yeah, and we don't know if we'll see them again next year, so
Oh, that's a good point.
only time
Right.
will tell. Yeah, so another the updates still haven't ended. So just I think was it this weekend we
Yes.
got four new villagers. Yeah, so the new villagers were Sprinkle, which is a little penguin. My wife Jackie does. I don't think she accepts that Sprinkle is a penguin, but I think recently she did. But yeah, Sprinkle's a penguin. She looks a bit like a cupcake. Her, have you looked into what items you can craft for each of these?
No, not just yet.
So Sprinkle seemed really unique because she has a bunch of like the snowman furniture, and
Hmm.
it looks like new snowman furniture that I hadn't seen
Oh,
before.
okay.
So the I guess that's interesting to me because like I'm used to getting snowman furniture as a special type
Right.
of
Hmm.
thing. Um, so if I were to open up my Animal Crossing New Leaf right now, I could build a snowman.
Hmm.
The hardest one to make is actually the one that gives you the snowman
Right.
furniture,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
It's not the mom; it's like the older brother
Right.
character. um, so yeah, he's the hardest one to make, but each time you make him, he will give you a piece of snowman furniture. Um, but in Pocket Camp, Sprinkle is like, oh, you can build this for me with cotton or wood. So it's a lot easier. But I thought that was interesting. Sorry, I got caught up on her. The next character they added was Ava, which is a another chicken.
Yeah.
I think she's nice. I forget what types of things she makes, but I think a couple of these characters were
Hmm.
rustic, so it gave us some cool things. Um, then there was another alligator, Boots. So I'm sure everyone knows you're a fan of
Yes.
Alfonso. How do you feel about Boots?
That's fine. More alligators is always fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to really like a lot of these
Yeah.
different animals. I feel like, but then again, I'm also like, I don't think I've ever had an alligator in one of my towns. Maybe in the
Mm.
first game, I think I had Boots and I liked him a lot. But I think since then, I've had a hard time finding
Right, right.
them,
You
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 know?
find more of the common animals.
Yeah, so I think this game's pretty cool because it's kind of making a lot of animals
Right.
visible. And so it's nice to see that variety. And then finally, this next one, he was one of my best friends in Wild World, but
Yeah.
Static. He's a squirrel. He's got the Harry Potter lightning bolt on his head, and he's he was a grumpy character in this game because the personalities don't quite work the
Mm.
same. I think he's a cool
Mm-hmm.
character. So I love Static. Funny thing, in Wild World, pretty much like all the squirrels moved into
Oh,
my town.
nice.
Yeah, I just had a town of squirrels, and then they slowly started moving away, and I was like, oh no, my best friends. So yeah. There were also, I guess, some other changes in like some of the game mechanics. So, do you want to go
Yes,
into that a
definitely.
bit?
I'm not
Like,
sure if you agree, but the villagers are a lot more likely to ask you for rare items. I noticed this one time when I was playing, and the third request from one of the villagers was the black bass, which, okay, I do have a couple of those, that's fine. So then I moved on to another area, and the third request from another villager was a red snapper, which is another rarish item. And I was like, oh, okay. So they're asking for these items that you used to not really see being requested. And then the two other third requests were for the Horn Dynasty, which I hardly ever saw get requested before. So after that, I'm in the lookout for these items, and I do see them being requested a lot more often. I actually think that's really nice because once you get these items, you used to maybe just keep them there or put them up for sale, and nobody would really buy them from your market box. But now that the villagers actually ask for them, you do have a reason to either have them or to look for them in people's market boxes.
yeah, definitely. I would say, yeah, I agree with you. I think they're more likely to ask for them, and it's mostly because today I played for a little bit and I ran out of horned
Ooh,
dynastids. I think I always had like around four. I would sell any that it went any extras
mhm.
that I had above that number, I would just sell. But today I used my last one for just
Right,
somebody was
right.
asking for them. So I'm kind of worried I'll have to buy one for 1,000
Right.
bells. um, but hopefully I can find a cheap seller out there if I ever need one again, or I'll just catch some more. But yeah, I think they are asking for them. I saw them asked for a little bit before the update, and I really liked it when they asked because I noticed the villagers would give you materials, but they would also give you 1,000 bells
Right. Yes.
for these rare creatures or
Right.
animals, you know? So I was always like, yes, I have, I'm getting closer to my camper payment, my loan, it's got to get
Oh,
paid.
that's right.
Um, yeah, I don't know if anybody's still working on paying their loan. I think I'm on the last one now, which is
Oh my
150,000
God, that's a
bells.
lot.
It's a lot. I know. It's so much. And yeah, so I'm hoping eventually I'll get there, but right now I've actually been crafting a lot of stuff, so I'm around 60,000 bells
So
right
nice.
now.
I think I have 50,000.
Yes.
I think that's the next payment for the one I need.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember I was pretty broke at one point doing that
Right,
payment. And then the 100,000 one, I was more careful cuz I was like, "Oh, last time I spent too much money and I couldn't craft these things."
right.
So, yeah. Um, yeah, so I'd say more people are asking for those things. One thing I noticed was how your actual campsite works. So before the update, you could talk to all eight of your villagers and get
Right.
something, right? And you didn't always get something. Sometimes they just chatted with you. Sometimes they'd give you like 100 to
Mhm.
500 bells or so. And then other times they'd give you an essence. what they changed about that was instead of all the talking to all the villagers, now you get a little bubble pop up and it tells you which villagers want to talk to you.
Right.
And so it's not all of them. The biggest amount I saw was five. So anywhere between, I think the lowest amount I saw was two,
Hmm.
maybe one. But I think like 2 to 5 villagers want to speak to you. And now I love it because when you speak to them, there's a good chance that they're going to give you some essences. And from what I've seen, they give you, if they give you an essence, they give you one, between one
Hmm.
and four. So what I've been doing with that lately is I want a lot of sporty essence and
Right.
rustic essence. I've filled my campsite with sporty animals and rustic
Right.
animals. And so now I'm consistently getting a couple essences like pretty much any time I go to my campsite.
Right. Right.
So
With the cycle.
I yeah, I've really liked this change. Of course, with the essences, they'll also give you crafting materials. But one of the best things is they're essentially, if they give you money, they give you either 500 bells or
Right.
2,500 bells. So they either pay you so much that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm rich. Or they give you at least
Right.
500 bells, which is
Right.
still a
Right.
good amount. Um, Especially in this game, because I feel like money
Yeah.
is just harder to get in this game. Um, and then finally, if they don't give you anything, their hearts, they get a lot
Right.
of
Hmm.
experience points just
Hmm.
for talking to you. And so I see people go up by like 6 hearts, or at least like 6 points toward their
Right.
next
Right.
heart.
And I've noticed. I'm not sure if maybe it's just me or if you have noticed this as well. Most of the people that want to talk to you in your campsite, they just want to talk. They don't really looking for any specific items. Maybe, like you said, usually it's five, maybe four of them want to talk, and one has an item request. That at least that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, and I guess one thing with this update that I think they can fix is you get a little bubble, that shows up and tells you which animals
Hmm.
want to speak to you. It doesn't show you which one wants
Right.
something. And so every time I go to the map, if you click on your campsite, you can then flip through all your villagers,
Hmm.
and that will show you who is requesting
Right. That's
some
right.
items. So a lot of the time, it's somebody that also wants to talk to you, but if you talk to them, like do the talking part, but not the giving them the stuff part, they'll disappear
Hmm.
from that list. So typically, I'll start by giving them what they asked for, just so they still pop up and I
Right.
remember to talk to them because you never know. I could just
Right.
forget right after I speak to them. I'm like, who was
Right.
I
Right. And
talking
sometimes
to?
they move.
Yeah, exactly. Like they still do that moving thing and then they jump around and you're just like, wait, you're right in front of me. Where'd you go? And
Oh
that can
yeah.
make it
Hmm.
difficult. um, but yeah, overall, I love the change. Especially because I think essences are just the hardest crafting material to get a hold of.
Right.
And this gives you like a consistent way to get those essences that you
Right.
need.
Right. And I remember back when Pocket Cam was pretty fresh and brand new. We heard from Nintendo that they said, we've listened, we've learned from our other games and the amount of updates or how constant we do the updates. We're definitely gonna keep you guys busy with a good amount of updates for Pocket Camp, and I think they have more than delivered. They the updates keep coming at a good pace. They updated, we got the rustic essences, which means more tents and more amenities, which is like, whoa, they actually are updating parts of the game that are pretty substantial, I think.
Yeah, and this makes me think because we waited a long time for this
Hmm.
app to come out. Um, it just makes me think that Nintendo took the time to make the game, and then they're like, you know what, let's have some of these updates ready to go. So I imagine they have a lot
Right,
of padding, and we're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff come pretty consistently.
right, right.
But then again, it's also like we both know Animal Crossing, and there are tons of characters, there are tons of things to do, tons of furniture. So I think they could really just keep adding a lot
Right,
of
right. I
stuff.
mean, we know they added flowers. I mean, they can just start from the basics and start adding fossils or start adding all the other aspects of Animal Crossing that we come to know and love.
Yeah, I am still pushing for like some sort of cave where we
Right.
go
Yes,
fossil
that'd be awesome.
hunting. That'd be so fun. And then, you know, during the fall, I'm a huge fan of
Right.
mushrooms or something. So it'd be cool if we could go into a forest and get some mushrooms, maybe get some special
Yeah.
furniture
Yeah.
like that. But 'cause especially like now that we've seen the garden area, I think there are just like a lot of different opportunities for places we can go to get special
Right. And
things.
we still don't know what the creatures part is in the garden, so there's still more updates to come for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about this, but I was like, you know, there are two things, essentially, two kind of big things that we're waiting on that we can see there. One of them is the creatures, of course, but the other is still
Oh,
clothes
yes, that's right.
crafting. Yeah, and I don't know. I just want to know how much cotton it's going to cost me. um, or, you know, you can always, I think there was chainmail in the game. You
Right.
can use your metal for that. um, but yeah, I feel like cotton's going to be a big thing. Or, you know, one of the big things in any of the Animal Crossing games was creating your own shirts.
That's right.
Through, I guess, I'd say it was like a design
Right.
editor thing. Essentially, you got a little grid that you could color in any way you want. Um, my only worry about that is I tried doing that stuff with the touch screen, and I'd constantly be like, I really need to just like use my
Right. Yeah,
controller
that's right.
to get like the exact detail that I want. Um, but also, I guess I don't know if they'll implement like the QR code sharing of
Right.
that
Right.
clothes that you craft, because I think it would be really easy. Like, you know, phones are built in with a camera these days, so it'd be easier to scan a QR code and get your favorite designs from
Right,
somebody.
right. Or I mean, even going further than that, if it lets you take a photograph of whatever pattern or color you like, and it turns it into the pattern for your clothing or maybe for something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would like that, especially because in New Leaf they also introduced like you could use those patterns as
Right.
furniture customization. So yeah, it'd be cool.
Oh, even for the camper,
I'm
right?
sitting on a couch right. Yeah, the couch I'm sitting on now while we record has this pretty cool plaid pattern, and I'm like, I would want a couch like this in my game. It's a pull-out couch too. It'd be cool if you saw the little villagers
No.
turning it into a bed, and then going like, well,
Yeah.
it's 10 p.m. It's time for bed. Yeah. So was there anything else you wanted to cover? I see you had some improved AC
Right, right.
visuals.
So now I'm not sure if this is just me looking too much into things, but I've noticed that in Pocket Camp there's been a few little visual improvements. I mean, of course, with every new Animal Crossing game, they do up the ante in terms of the graphics. We know that Animal Crossing is not known for its, high-end, high-resolution graphics, but they do clean it up with each new game, and they do make it look better. But when I notice those kind of things, they do catch my eye. For example, the biggest one I saw, somebody from our Discord group posted an image of their camper, their room as an interior, and they had a lamp that was turned on, and you could see how the light was diffusing from the actual lamp itself onto the rest of the room, and it was really nice. Like n- in a level that we haven't seen in Animal Crossing, I thought. And I've noticed this also with the fire. For example, in New Leaf, you could get a public work that was just like a campfire like a big fire that you could place anywhere in your town. It looked nice, but when you got close to it, there was no really lighting effect from the fire, like an orange glow. They did add that actually in at Harvey's place with the Welcome Amiibo update, and I noticed they carried that lighting effect over to Pocket Camp. You can see when somebody is next to like a campfire, you can see them glowing with the orange or the color of the fire. So
Hmm. Yeah, I've I guess when New Leaf came out, one of the big things was you could have lamps that were different and they would create like a different lighting effect.
right,
And so it's cool to see that grow because, yeah, I can totally picture before looking at that same campfire and not really seeing
right,
that lighting effect. But in Harvey's, I'm like, oh, my
yeah,
face looks
right,
like it's
exactly.
glowing and it looks like that light is touching me in
Right,
some way,
right.
and it's cool.
Little things in a way, but it's the little details that matter and that pull you in into the experience. And
Yeah, so that's super cool. I love it. Just gets me excited, man. It gets me so pumped to see what they could do with that in a future game. And of course, getting a little taste of it now, which is nice, but
right.
it's a taste, and I'm like, I want the meal.
Oh, and that's exactly how I saw it. I'm catching these things and I'm like, oh, okay, so what are they gonna add on the new one? If they're putting a little effort on this or like making the character animations more fluid or making some of the items look a little shiny or cel shaded compared to the others, it's like, what are you working on, Nintendo? Show us now.
Yeah, and I think, if you look back at any of the older games, you definitely see how it's progressed. Like, I mean, the first three games, Population Growing, Wild World, City Folk, I'm stunned when I look at them now because I'm like, oh man, you're so
Yeah,
short. You got this like little tiny body and this head that's the
right,
size of your body. And I'm like, I'm so glad that it's changed so you can have
right.
limbs. And, of course, it just makes it a better experience because now, because of our, I guess, extended bodies, we can change our pants and you'd actually
Yeah,
notice like a
right,
difference in your
exactly.
character. So, yeah, just all of these little changes are improving the world that we're in. And, just Animal Crossing's always been like a visually
Yes,
charming game. And any little thing that helps that is just like a
right,
huge
right.
strength to it. Yeah. Oh, I'm just too stoked for the
Yeah,
next one.
yep.
Okay, well, anyways, everybody, we're happy to be back from our break. You can expect us on our usual schedule. Of course, there will be an extra episode as soon as we get Animal Crossing news. Of course, there's no guarantee that we get it, so don't get your hopes up too high. I don't want to be getting all these emails saying, you broke my heart, Chewy. I thought it was coming. You told me. Only Nintendo can tell you. don't,
Right,
don't take my word for it. I just feel it in my heart that it's time. And yeah, I say that without
right, right.
trying to get your hopes up too high, but of course. But yeah, we're happy to be back. Hopefully, you'll see this place grow a lot. We're going to be adding, of course, the new music that I'm hoping to record. And just keep an eye out. I think both Sergio and I are going to have some cool projects coming that are Animal Crossing related. And like always, you can support us on Patreon. All your support means a lot. We're definitely aiming to, I guess essentially we have goals on our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/ChewyPlaysNintendo. And our goals are essentially like, the first one's a pretty small goal. I just need enough money a month to have every episode of the show available. The next ones are going to go toward like creating more Animal Crossing content. So it could be getting, you know, a 3DS recording equipment, so we can actually do some New Leaf footage for you during these videos. I can currently do City Folk, but it's just not the same. When you've got New Leaf in front of you, you're just like, that's the game I want to see. I mean, I could record the Switch if they ever came out with that, but come on, we're waiting on that. But yeah, I know, Sergio, you have some 3DS recording equipment. Maybe we should do like a little co-op video for everyone. We could do like a tour of your town, a tour of my town. That'd be pretty fun. But yeah, all your money will help us, just create more Animal Crossing content, more stuff of what you'd like to see. And of course, we can have your voice heard on the show. We want to, I guess, ask our contributors, any patrons, on just what they'd like us to discuss, and have like a community pulse type of thing where you can talk about things you love about Animal Crossing. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I guess we'll see you in a couple weeks or next week, I don't know.